Aloha, cupcakes. It is time to try Ronan's One Stroke. Yes, it's an enamel, so we're going to try it out. And let's see how that works out. All right, so I'm starting off. I have black, white, I have aqua, teal, and violet. And I think we're going to start with this teal color because this is a strangely classic color. If you were around a long time ago and okay, maybe most people probably weren't, but there was a time where it seemed like there were a lot of trucks, like dualies with boats in tow that were some variation of all white, and teal and hot pink were just like all the colors you needed to be able to stripe those things. So I think I've avoided this color since then. So we're going to use it today. And right out of the gate, I mean, just paleting this out, all I did, a couple of dips of reducer and just paint in a cup. I've decided that that's just how I'm going to do things from now on, because every paint that gives me difficulties, I'm getting a lot better results by doing that. So I'm just assuming that here in my environment, I need to just start that way. So for all I know, this is fine out on the palette by itself, but we're not even going to waste our time with that one. But I can tell you that these first couple of stripes that I pulled on the palette, just clean. Didn't have any difficulties with this. And yes, I'm using an Alien Deathhawk, so I have one of my better brushes that's getting involved with this one. In this first stripe, yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with the way this is pulling right off the bat. Like, I don't have any bubbles. I don't have any, I don't know where it flares out. I don't have that inconsistency. So very consistent paint. First palette out. So I'm just going to straight into a design. We're going to skip all the testing stuff because I have ideas. And I will intentionally not paint a Jack in the Box cup from the 90s. This is the correct color for that, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. I don't know if you remember Jack in the Box of the 90s. We used to be able to get chicken sandwiches there for $1, but this is the right color. Just saying. But this is very smooth flowing. I am not having any difficulties with it, and it is. I'm rather enjoying this, honestly. Like, this is a goofy design, and I think I'm just going to keep going with it, honestly. I'm occasionally putting a couple drops of reducer in there, and it's more for the paint that's out on the palette than it is for the paint that I'm trying to work with, because the paint's in the cup, and then I just palette it out just to get it smooth. But I need to keep putting reducer on the palette so that I'm not dragging the brush through it. So we've got a good working time for, I think I'm at like 14% humidity. And I think we're at like 67 degrees. It's gotten a lot colder since I finished uploading this video. But I think 67 is about my working temperature today. Yeah, this is fun. I am genuinely enjoying how this is working. Like, I think the last time I had paint that flowed this way, it probably was old Ronan's paint, honestly. It was either that or not quite to the point where we were dealing with some of the paint brands that had lead in them, but in that era of time when we first started not. So yeah, this is very nostalgic. I'm thoroughly enjoying the way that this is flowing, especially considering I'm painting on palette paper instead of actually like a clean, clear-coated surface. I have had decent results doing these paint tests on the paper, but it really shows the deficiencies a lot more than trying to do this on like a panel or something like that. Now, I did switch things up. We're going to try out, I'm using one of David Jackson made this scrolling brush that I am just infatuated with. Like, this is the kind of brush that I had always wanted to have, but could never quite find any of the designs of any of the modern brushes. And he was just like, hey, I can make a brush. This might work for what you're trying to do. I was, okay. Just made the exact brush that I needed for what I wanted. And I've been using this brush I've been essentially just wasting paint with it. And now that I have this paint, I'm going to use all of it because this is just a little too much fun for me to not. And yeah, I know. I have other colors. I need to test them to see if they're going to work anywhere near as well as this teal is going so far. But this paint was already mixed. I'm already working on it. I'm already trying to film it. So we're just going to keep playing until I get to where I needed to take a rest, which didn't actually happen, honestly. Like I had like a FedEx delivery or something like that, and I had to like step away for a little while, but I just kept going. Actually, you know what? This one was done on a live feed on TikTok. So, yes, I did take a break because apparently I gave myself a nosebleed today. That's what it was. And FedEx came while I was standing there with, cotton ball in my face. Because that's exactly how you need people to come by. But working with this, I am just running wild, doing weird things and seeing if it'll hold up. And the combination of this brush and this paint is holding up flawlessly. And I have added a couple drops of reducer here and there, but for the most part, I've been working just straight from the cup. And I'll palette out just a little bit just to make sure that I keep that sharpness in the tip. But yeah, this is just, we're just running wild over here, and I'm having a great time with it. I am genuinely happy with what I'm doing right now. And I don't know, maybe that's the thing. I very often look at this like it's a job, and I don't want to say I'm miserable doing it. I'm still painting for a living, but I don't know. There's just something about this that is more fun. So we're going to try purple right here. I don't know if you noticed that there was a color change, but yeah, we're trying purple. And I'm using the Scharf long-handled brush because this paint, it does dry slower. So some of the paints that I've worked with recently, they dry in like 15, 20 minutes. And this stuff, after 2 hours, is not even close to dry. So it could be my humidity. It could be the lower temperature because I did have to fire up the heaters by the time we started painting with the purple. But yeah, we're still wet. So fun for one color. You have to get creative for the second one. Which is fine. I mean, that's what mall sticks are for, and that's why long-handled brushes exist. I think it's literally their job. But this purple, same flow, same lack of reducer involved with it. It was a bit thicker out of the can, so I did have to work it a little bit more on the palette before I could start working. But, 10 seconds extra of paletting out versus, I don't know. I didn't actually time how long it took me. I think it was just ready to go right out of the can. So this stuff took an extra 10 seconds from 0, I guess. But we're going to go back to this scrolling brush because I got a feeling I could pull some very fine lines with the tip on this one. And yeah, this is not disappointing by any means. Like, it is pulling, it is maintaining its consistency all the way through, which I am just loving that. Yeah, this is like that one right there. Like right in there. Those two little intersectional part things. Just happy with the way that they worked. Can I do it on the other side so I can make it symmetrical? Maybe. Probably. Kind of. It's kind of my job, right? I mean, we'll load it up a little heavier, but almost. Got to touch that up right there, but yeah, kind of worked. But yeah, this stuff has just been a lot of fun to work with. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I don't know how this is going to hold up against like the weather, but there's a reason Ronan's been around for as long as they have, and I'm going to assume that this stuff just holds up because when I asked, I think I posted on Facebook when I had asked what enamels I should be trying out. I cannot tell you how many messages I got saying Ronan's. So when Matt reached out and said, "Hey, I've got a few cans. You want to try it out?" And I was like, "Yes, I would love to." Because I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a video for the urethane not too long ago, and I thoroughly loved working with that because it's a urethane that doesn't stink. So the other thing with this one is that the color palette's exactly the same. So I don't have to think about what color's what. I don't have to think about if it's going to work or not. I know these colors because the color palette is what we expect. So huge fan of this. I think you should get a couple cans of this. Try this one out for yourselves. I'm definitely loving working with this stuff. It has just been so much fun for me to do. So now that you've seen it and now that we've talked about it, it was fun. And I really think you ought to try this one out if you haven't already. And if you have, try it again. Just go for it. Till the next one, stay moist, my friends.